It's just a 5-game road trip, but with a win today over the Diamondbacks, the suddenly surging Astros would make it a very successful 4-1 jaunt. They'll take their shot at it with Brad Peacock going to the mound. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. Game 2 in the final game on this road trip as the Astros close it out in Arizona. They picked up a win last night. Ho-hum. They've won 12 of their last 16 and 18 and 10 dating back to May 11th. Some pretty good baseball being played.
Yeah, real good baseball being played. We like to see that. On the road, they're 15-18, creeping towards that 500 mark. But since May 11th, one of the best, or the best team in the AL West, the Houston Astros are. 18 wins in that span, but doing a great job. We're seeing a lot of things turn around for these Houston Astros. Obviously, having George Springer in that lineup has sparked the offense a little bit, but the pitching staff, starting pitching, getting deep into ball games, bullpen's doing a great job. Just all around great baseball by the Houston Astros Baseball Club.
To pick up that kind of a record, you've got to have some guys succeeding, and offensively, of course, we know about Jose Altuve. Dexter Fowler has been an absolute on-base monster. You go back to May 10th, best on-base percentage in all of the league.
No, he's doing a great job, and he's not just doing it with the bat. You see the high batting average helping that out, but he's getting quite a few walks, moved into that leadoff spot in the lineup for the Houston Astros. 7-game hitting streak. He's got 6 multi-hit games in that span, and over the last 49 games for Dexter Fowler, 55 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and he's driven in 17 RBIs. But what a guy to have at that top of the lineup. Altuve, a little bit of a free swinger in that starting position in that lineup, but Dexter Fowler does a great job of seeing a lot of pitches, getting on base, and creating a plethora of opportunities for guys hitting behind him.
Coming up, Dexter Fowler and the Astros have been absolute OPS monsters. That for a full calendar month. And the wins have been coming in bunches. Can they keep the wins coming and leave the D-backs feeling foul in the process? We'll find out. Coming up. Of Houston Astros baseball is presented by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. Coming up, the Astros have more than one guy hotter than the Arizona desert right now, but their best player doesn't feel very hot at all. Julia Morales heads to the pool to tell us why Altuve is so bummed out when we return.
Closing out a quick 2-game series here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm coming to you from one of the coolest features of this ballpark. It's the ramtrucks.com pool. Sits in right center field. You and 34 of your good friends can rent this place out, but it's usually sold out before opening day even gets here. There's a jacuzzi, as you saw, and if you're lucky enough, you can witness one of the home run balls that will be splashed in the pool. That's right, there's been a few of those as well. Now, keeping up with the theme in Phoenix, the Astros have been hot, and one of those guys, Jose Altuve, swinging a hot bat as he has been all season long, really. I asked him yesterday before the game because he seemed a little down. Why aren't you as happy today? And he said, I'm just not hitting well. Well, Jose Altuve went 3 for 5 last night with an RBI double. I'd say he's hitting just fine, too. When you look back, you have to go back all the way to May to find a game where he didn't have a hit. He also leads the majors in hits with 88, and he leads the American League in steals with 24. He's on pace to have a 50-double, 60-steal season. Definitely worthy of all-star discussion, which he's been there before in 2012. Now, while you were watching Altuve, I was getting comfortable. I've kicked my shoes off. This is the best place to watch a baseball game, guys. I'll be here. Enjoy the game in the booth.
Yeah, exactly, Julia. You're watching the game out there. Jose Altuve, he has been a little giant and just swinging a great bat for the club. Boy, there's an all-star ready to happen once again. It'll be the second time in his career. Had 3 more hits last night, as did Dexter Fowler. Those numbers have gotten better and better as the year goes on.
Yeah, there's not enough you can say about the guy offensively doing it all, but on defense, only 1 error. So there's 2 sides to Jose Altuve, doing a great job. Top of the order. I think he's a great number 2 hole hitter. Likes to put that ball in play. Goes the other way. Great. Hits behind those runners. And granted, he's getting a lot of those hits for himself, but he's a really good team player and has great team at bats when he's up there.
That lineup for the Astros this afternoon, the concluding game of this brief 2-game set. Dexter Fowler in center, Jose Altuve at second. And at first, it's John Singleton. That means there's no George Springer once again. Doing the catching, Jason Castro. Matt Dominguez is at third. And in left field, Robbie Grossman. The bottom 3, Alex Presley in right. At shortstop, Jonathan Villar. And on the mound and with the bat, it's Brad Peacock.
Arizona Diamondbacks are going to have Bronson Arroyo out there. Salty veteran, features about 17 different pitches, varying in speeds from 60 to 89 miles an hour. last 12 starts against the Houston Astros dating back to August 2008. He's got a 9-1 record with a 2.05 ERA.
So he's been tearing up the Astros. Lifetime against Houston. He's pitched in 31 games against the Astros. 25 as a starter. He's 13-7. ERA at 4.04. So Dexter Fowler kind of doing what he does. He'll take some pitches. He'll try to get the count to work deep. But he's not just drawing walks anymore. He's picking up the knocks, and we mentioned the 3 hits for Dexter last night. He's pushed that batting average up to 284. Changeup hit sharply, but right at Aaron Hill at second, and the game's first out.
It's pretty amazing to think that Dexter Fowler is getting on base so often with that great eye that he has, because his strike zone is almost the same size as Altuve as a whole.
Second baseman, number 27, Jose Altuve.
Nice. Yeah, it is remarkable. There is no question about it. So Altuve with those 3 hits last night, hitting .320, 88 hits on the year, leading the American League, 8-game hitting streak in tow. And he hasn't even been hot in the 8-game hitting streak until last night. That batting average of .333 just mirrors what he's done on the course of the year.
Yeah, scuffling at .333 in that hitting streak.
It's really tough. Line shot, not hit sharply, but a grab at third base by Prado and 2 outs. Right off the end of the bat from Jose.
One of the tougher plays at third. You saw Martin Prado out there at third base. Cruise around Chase Field and see who's out there. David Peralta in left field. Ender Inciarte in center field. Gerardo Parra in right field with that cannon. Owens at shortstop. Aaron Hill at second base. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Miguel Montero behind the plate.
Brings up John Singleton.
Better watch out in the dugout with Arroyo's velocity and the veracity of Singleton's swings. There's going to be some balls being yanked down that right field foul line.
He's turn and yank them, and better in the dugout than in the seats.
Yeah. Although there are more seats than fans today.
There are definitely more seats than fans. 12:40 start here locally. That hanger on the 2-0 had a big swing and a miss. John Singleton, 2 home runs now in the big leagues. One of those a grand slam. He's got that figured out pretty darn quickly. He shoots one on the left side. Count even at 2-2. We have not seen left field used by John. Singleton just 1 for 5 last night. Scored a run and had a chance to drive in a run. He had Altuve on second base and 2 outs in the 8th inning. Shot a base hit into right, but great arm in right and no slide from Altuve and no run. Fly ball going to drop in shallow left center field. John Singleton catches a break on this towering fly ball.
Some hits over there on that left side. Don't have to crush them. Drop shot.
Catcher number 15, Jason
It's
Castro.
tough. You wait so long at the plate. Sometimes you get jammed on pitches that aren't coming in there very quick.
Last night, Blummer referred to the center fielder for the Diamondbacks, Ender Inciarte, as fly ball Ender. But this fly ball found a way to drop.
No wonder. We'd have to check the defensive alignment, but I'm sure the outfield was probably playing him a little bit to pull, therefore creating a little bit of a hole out there in that Bermuda Triangle.
2 outs, man at first. Castro turns back and takes a ball. 1-0 the count. Shift on for Jason in the infield. 3 infielders on the right side. Castro was driving the ball in the air to right center last night. And fouls it off the left side. John Singleton has 1 stolen base on the year. We didn't anticipate seeing him run, but he has shown that he can do so rather effectively.
Fits into that Astro mold. If you've got a chance to run, they're going to let you go.
Well, the Astros have run so well as a club. They've also slammed the long ball. Castro maybe shooting toward left field with only the 1 infielder on that side, and sees the count at 1-2.
Well, a guy like Bronson Arroyo, who has a multitude of pitches to go to and different velocities. He's always changing speeds, always moving the ball in different spots around the plate, different breaks on all of his breaking balls and sliders. I think it's a good idea to try and mentally think about hitting that ball as hard as you can over the shortstop's head.
The Astros with 49 stolen bases, second best in the league. 2-2 the count on Jason. They're third in home runs, 69 of them.
Or in Castro's case, just hit it over the third baseman's head, who is standing at shortstop. Hope that guy's okay. It's not good when you're that young hanging out with the trainer.
Ground ball slowly hit on the right side, right to the straight up second base position. And this ball gets kicked by the shortstop Owings, and ultimately everybody's safe. So the shift left a man in that position, but unable to make the play is Owings. It's an E6.
Third baseman, number 30, Matt Dominguez.
That ball was just kicked. Sometimes you hear people trying to argue the fact, well, he's out of position because of the shift. I don't believe in that. It's a ground ball. You go over there, you pick it up, and you make the play.
Now the ball hit right off the end of the bat, not hit sharply. That was kind of like infield practice time,
which they were doing before the game.
Which they did. We don't see infield taken much, if at all, anymore, but the Diamondbacks did today.
That'll drive Alan Trammell nuts. He was the one out there hitting fungos.
The guy with the stick, is he the one that gets blamed?
No, it's always the guy making the error.
Matt Dominguez at the plate, runners at first and second, one hopper back to the mound. Arroyo with the play, and that'll do it in the Astros first inning. No runs on a hit. There was an error, and they strand a pair. Scoreless after a half. After a half an inning of play, the Diamondbacks will bring it up against Brad Peacock. And here's the order for the D-backs. Gerardo Parra's in right field. At shortstop, Chris Owings. He already has an error on the game. Paul Goldschmidt from Houston is at first base. Middle three, Miguel Montero doing the catching at third, Martin Prado. And the second baseman is Aaron Hill. The bottom three, left fielder David Peralta, Ender Inciarte in center field, and the pitcher Bronson Arroyo.
Brad Peacock for the Houston Astros, the right-hander, featuring a fastball, slider, curveball. See his record on the season. He is 9th game started. He's much better out of that starting role in his career. He's 9-9 record on his career, 4.34 ERA over that career. When he's coming out of the bullpen, that ERA jumps to 7.23.
Peacock has never faced the Diamondbacks. Brad a winner last time out, 5 innings, allowing 6 hits and 3 earnings. That over the LA Angels of Anaheim. In fact, he's won his last 2 decisions, and there's one of the reasons why, running that fastball right down around the knees. Fastball inside. Gerardo Parra at the plate.
Peacock, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Peacock hasn't faced National League teams that often, but he's got pretty good numbers. 2-0 record, 1 hold, 1.8 ERA in 20 innings.
Command looks good right now. Velocity is down a bit from what we generally see. Brad just 26 years of age. And a 2-2 count. Parra got to show off that throwing arm from right field last night in gunning down Jose Altuve in the 8th inning. Throw a bit offline, but still enough to get Altuve. That would have been a big insurance run. As it turned out, the Astros able to win it 4-3. And strike 3 called, inside edge at the knees. So Parra caught looking.
Pretty good pitch and a 2-strike count, down and in right at those knees on that inside corner. Locked up Parra.
With 1 out, brings up the shortstop, Chris Owings.
Some crazy numbers right there. Winning record with a 5.18, but on the road losing record at a sub-4 ERA.
It's one of those, I don't know what you call those, but where you match up the numbers on the left column with the ones on the right, and I don't think they got it right. Beautifully placed outside edge at the knees. So again, the velocity down a bit now for Peacock, but location very good. If you can take one or the other, I think most pitchers would agree that location is the one.
I like that slider from Peacock too. Doesn't have much of a changeup.
Featured just a tad of the change last time, but he has a good slider. Has seemed to shy away from it at times this year. Well, he's got 2 strikeouts on the afternoon as he gets the first 2 hitters, Parra and Owings. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, that's the way you want to see Paul Goldschmidt come to the plate.
With 2 strikeouts, we haven't had a chance to see much other than Brad Peacock and Jason Castro, who's working behind the plate today. But around the outfield, it's going to be Grossman, Fowler, and Presley. Springer another day off with that knee injury. Around the infield, usual suspects these days. Dominguez at third, Biard short, Altuve at second, and Singleton at first.
Goldschmidt has a very modest 3-game hitting streak. Right out of the Woodlands area. Played with Kyle Drabeck. Fouls one off. It's a ball and a strike. Just in the first inning. Astros got a base hit out of John Singleton in the top of the inning. Castro reached on an E6. Paul Goldschmidt hitting .273 lifetime against Houston. Just in 10 games. Has 4 doubles and a home run. Fastball hammered high and deep right center. Heading toward the pool. And this one is splashed down. 1-0 Arizona. Number 13 on the year for Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt almost looked ashamed for hitting the ball that far. And that's Brad Peacock's problem. He has that relatively straight, flat fastball. If he's not working a good plane down in the zone and he leaves those balls up out of the plate, good hitters like Paul Goldschmidt take advantage of that situation.
It brings up Miguel Montero, everyday catcher for the Diamondbacks, hitting .280 on the year. He has 8 homers and 36 ribbies. There's 92 on the fastball, so maybe Peacock just starting to get it loose.
Either that or he's a little ticked off.
Now that can happen on the home run, and pretty much a no doubt shot there for Goldschmidt. I hope Julia had cleared out of the area.
Now we do not need her getting hurt.
Well, they don't have any food down there, so I'm guessing she may have been gone. Half swing. They now appeal late and don't get it.
I just wanted to be quiet there for a split second and get everybody to hear how loud that was off the bat. Oh, nice shot. That is beautiful. We got cameras everywhere.
Broken bat, ground ball right side. Altuve wide to his left from the outfield grass. He'll get Montero. That'll do it for the D-backs. But they get the game's first run on the home run, number 13 for Paul Goldschmidt.
Move to the second inning. George Springer not in the lineup for a second day, dealing with that right knee soreness. And he waited like the rest of us, waiting to see if he would be in the lineup in the clubhouse this morning. When he found out he wasn't, he went to the cages, so getting some work done there. He said he doesn't really know when it happened. It's very unclear, so we're not real sure about that. But he did tell Bo Porter he was feeling much, much better today. So you got to take that as a good sign, don't you guys?
Yeah, we'd like to. I know everybody is wanting to hear good news on George Springer. You hate to see any game, Blummer, where he's not in there.
Yeah. In his brief career, he is definitely a main cog in that Astros lineup. And as a fan, I'm a little disappointed that he's not in the lineup, too.
Robbie Grossman leads off here in the Astros second. The changeup is in for a strike. Robbie has just gotten off the interstate. He's right at 200. He's teetering on that exit ramp. So that's where you want to get red hot. Just take off and don't even flirt with it again. But Paul Goldschmidt has already flexed his muscles, launching his 13th home run, right center field, and just a bomb out to the swimming pool. Young man can swing it. Hey, you talk about all-stars. That's a guy that is going to make the all-star squad a number of times on his career. Doing the Houston area very proud, and the Woodlands in particular. Grossman takes and sees the count run full. Robbie was 1 for 4 in last night's game. And takes a close pitch up and away, gets the walk. It comes as he leads off here in the second inning. It brings up Alex Presley.
Right fielder, number 8, Alex Presley.
Alex Presley hitting .235. Presley in right field with George Springer out. And again, George Springer wanted to play today. Don't know that that tells us a lot about the knee. Get the feeling that George wants to be in there every day. He doesn't look like a guy who's in pain.
If I had his skills, I'd want to be in there too.
You have to wonder when you're talking knee or ankle maybe with George about his swing and if it's the culprit. Ground ball through the legs of Arroyo into center field. Solid base hit for Alex Presley. Stopping at second is Grossman. The Astros have something going here in the second.
Stanley Cup time. You just say you beat him 5-hole, eh?
No question about it. So drop the A. Well, go ahead and keep it.
Well, just going with the hockey theme north of the border. I think that's where it originated.
Hoser.
Just call me a hoser?
Grossman at second, Presley at first, nobody out. Jonathan VR at the plate. Jonathan came back in action in game 3 in Minnesota and had himself a feast, 3 hits. But then last night fell right back in the slump. Jonathan hitting right on the 200 mark and takes a strike. On base percentage at .263 for Jonathan. A lot of changeups from Arroyo. Infield shallows up a bit, playing for 2. And now timeout called. The Astros, of course, winning last night's game 4-3. No home runs in last night's game. So the home run here by Goldschmidt, the first here in the 2-game series. And that's a bit of news here in this ballpark. A lot of balls will fly out. Arroyo comes set, holds it, and steps off.
Some chicanery going on right now. They were hollering at Dexter Fowler to move back from behind home plate. He was just kind of lingering back there getting loose, and it's interesting that Dexter Fowler is on deck because Brad Peacock is the next hitter after VR. But I think that's another ploy by Bo Porter, putting more trust into Dexter Fowler with a runner in scoring position, maybe helping that runner at home plate as opposed to having a pitcher who's rarely in the on deck circle awaiting an oncoming base runner.
Now, what is the rule anymore? Because when I played, they stipulated you had to have the pitcher in the on deck circle.
I don't think there's any rule regarding that.
2-1 pitch on the hands, grounded back to the mound. They'll get an out at second base, and at first beating the ramp is Jonathan VR. So he hustles down the line, able to leg it out. The fielder's choice leaves runners at first and third. 1 out now for Brad Peacock.
Good hustle by Jonathan. He could have given up on this play and had that double play turned.
Number 41, Brad Peacock.
Great time to check in with Julia, see what she's got going on.
As you were just talking about pitchers being in the on-deck circle, Bo Porter did this with Cozart yesterday, making Cozart sit down until the absolute last second, and he told him it was because he just didn't want him walking around, and I think there was a case where there was 2 outs and just didn't want him on his feet any longer than he had to be. Not sure why else he would do it, though.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a concern about a foul ball, maybe drilling a guy in the on-deck circle. I don't know.
It's exhausting taking 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah, that walking around thing is murder on a pitcher.
And then you got to pick up that donut and put it on your bat. I mean, that's a 2-hour bicep workout just to get that thing on. Really?
Showing bunt is Peacock. That curveball stays high. Well, that's not a squeeze of any type. And just trying to see if you can move a runner up with your second out. I don't know if this is commentary on the batting ability of Brad Peacock, but he bunts through one. It's a ball and a strike. You're always concerned, 1 out, that the pitcher grounds into a double play that kills the inning.
Those guys are enthralled with the game today.
You know, they love the bunting game. The 1-1. Again, I don't know if he tried to bunt it or tried to have the bat semi out there and take a strike, but it's 1-2.
Between Cozart and Peacock, we've seen a couple deer in headlights, haven't we?
That was a very weak attempt at a bunt.
It's not easy. Bunting itself is not easy. And then you're an American League pitcher and you maybe get once a month, you get a chance to do it.
Covering up no indication that he's going to bunt is Peacock. And for some reason, Bronson Arroyo didn't want it.
Might have been to hold VR a little bit. We know he can steal some bags.
Any chance that you'd send Robbie Grossman from third delayed on a bunt attempt? Well, it's a moot point now as Peacock strikes out. So, second out of the inning of Freebie. That leaves runners at the corners, 2 down for Dexter Fowler.
Well, the Astros are notorious for doing a first and third safety squeeze, bunting that ball towards first base, getting that easy run. But you can see that bat angle right there isn't going to be able to accomplish a good bunt.
Keeps the barrel well behind the knob end of the bat. And yeah, that's how you bunt to first base, but that angle a bit extreme. Dexter Fowler grounded out to second in the first inning. Bronson Arroyo's got that step off move worked out pretty well here early on.
I think he just signaled to Montero that he's having a tough time seeing the signs.
And now turns and throws to first base. Jonathan VR certainly a threat to run. But you wonder with 2 outs and the tying run standing down at third base, 2 outs, if you would risk the running game. 1-0 the count on Jonathan, or on Dexter rather.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good time. I don't think it's a necessity or a good time for VR to run to second base. You've already got a runner 90 feet away, and you got a guy like Dexter Fowler who's swinging a hot bat right now.
2-0 the count.
First baseman's holding on VR, therefore creating a bigger hole for the left-handed hitting Dexter Fowler also.
Paul Goldschmidt is holding on at first base on VR, but as the pitch was made, he came sprinting directly toward the mound. And now the count at 3-0. Dexter Fowler able to draw one of his patented walks that'll load him up for Jose Altuve.
Kind of picking your poison right now, aren't you?
I don't know that I would go that route if I were Bronson Arroyo.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
Two outs, bases juiced. 1-0 Arizona on a Paul Goldschmidt solo home run. Arroyo continues from the stretch and pumps one through for a called strike, just 86 miles an hour. Good action on that one at 84, and 0-2 the count on Jose. Altuve has driven in 22. The Astros could use one of his swings here.
I don't know what that was. That was pretty impressive. Good depth on that.
Is that maybe a tucked fastball at 84? Just good sinking action.
Real good sink.
Rides one high. The hard four-seamer at 85. See the runners with their leads. Infield fairly straight up, and you have to on Jose. And now a 2-2 count.
Good job of laying off on that one. Dangling that curveball on that outer corner. But Altuve recognizes so early.
Don't know if he's changed anything in his game or if he's just having one of those streaks and a prolonged streak where he's seeing the ball well. Grounds one to third, slowly hit, going to the bag ahead of the runner is Prado, and that's going to do it. Altuve grounds into the fielder's choice. The Astros lead 3 and trail 1-0.
The Astros trailed the Diamondbacks 1-0. It's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Someone's taking a photo right there. Also, while you're tweeting, we've got a question for you. We want you to answer so we can read some of these on the broadcast later. What's the biggest reason the Astros have been the best in the AL West since May 11th? Explain to Ho Chin, CSN. We'll read them later, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, I want to hear some of that splaining.
You got some splaining to do.
We go to the bottom of the second inning. Diamondbacks on top 1-0. Martin Prado leads it off. First pitch close but missing. 1-0 the count. Following that force out to end the top of the second inning, the umpires gathered together on the infield and they chatted with Dexter Fowler, and then when they broke it up, they eventually headed to the first base dugout. That's where the Astros reside, and had a brief comment for Bo Porter. And we can only guess up here, but I don't know, Blummer, you go to guessing. As the ball's hit in the air, shallow center field. VR is back and calling and makes the catch. One up, one down here in the Diamondbacks second.
Well, during Jonathan Villar's at bat, we noticed that Dexter Fowler was on deck and Miguel Montero had motioned to the on deck circle, maybe moving Dexter, who might be trying to pick up some signs. But in talking to Julia, we're finding out that that man right there, Bo Porter, and managing his team, said that he doesn't want the pitcher to be on deck for various reasons, maybe a little more rest. But you alluded to the fact there might actually be a rule that states the pitcher has to be on deck, and I think that's what the umpires got together and figured out, and maybe went over and mentioned to Bo and said, hey, you got to have your pitcher on deck next time.
At one time, that's what was enforced. Now, whether it's in the rule book, I have no idea, but that would be my guess as well, that Bo Porter has been told let's quit with that little game.
Well, and here's the thing for me, you may be right, but I've never even thought about looking up the rule or knowing about it, because everybody I've played for has always had the pitcher on deck. I've never seen that before where there's been the discretion to keep the pitcher on deck. I mean, not on deck.
So apparently some pitchers are capable of being on their feet and have done so in the past. I don't know if Kirk Gibson was the instigator of that little meeting on the field.
No, but I know he's forcing pitchers to go on deck so they don't have to be in the dugout anymore.
Fly ball left field. Easy for Grossman. Two down here in the second inning. Brings up the left fielder David Peralta, who had a 7-game hitting streak snapped in last night's affair.
Left fielder, number
pretty dramatic fashion. They broke up that hitting streak too. Yeah, 3 punch outs, a couple of awkward swings, and a rollover to second base.
Good fastball pumped in for a strike. That's been a pretty steady diet of first pitch fastballs from Brad Peacock. But then again, we noted last night that the Diamondbacks hitters, for the good part, have taken a lot of pitches early. Count here at 0-2 on Peralta. So if you show as a club that you're going to take the first pitch, go ahead and just pump the fastball in there. Of course, at some point they'll cross you up.
Well, I think that first go through the lineup for the Arizona Diamondbacks, facing a guy they haven't seen, or a lot of these guys haven't seen except for the first time now. They want to get a good visual on him.
A little bit of that Jared Cozart cut action. Jared Cozart picked up the win in last night's game, his 5th on the year. He's 5-5. Early on, extremely sharp. Is that the changeup from Peacock? Love to see him start featuring that pitch more. And the curveball is chopped foul.
Good job just getting a piece of that by Peralta. That was a pretty good hammer out in front of the plate. Spoiled it.
It would be intriguing to see Peacock, who has a good fastball. Nice slider when it's on, and we saw a lot of that late last year. Nice over the top curveball. Then add in the changeup, and he becomes quite formidable. Fastball grounded off the glove of Peacock. Altuve bare hands, but has no play. Maybe with that bare hand effort coming up with a palm ball, and at that point deciding to hang on. Infield single comes with 2 outs, brings up Inciarte.
Peacock was in good position to catch that one. Got on him a little bit quicker than I think he thought, but it's tough as a second baseman. You're reacting to the initial hit, and then you got to redirect yourself after it's been tipped off that pitcher's glove.
So after having that 7-gamer snap last night, Peralta comes up with a hit in his first at bat today. 8-hitter, Ender Inciarte. Made some nice plays in last night's game. Just flat out robbed Jason Castro of extra bases. Count even at a ball and a strike. Another one of the Venezuelan-born players here in this series, certainly among them Jose Altuve, Gerardo Parra. Breaking ball in for a strike after showing bunt. Inciarte pulled the bat back. First year in the big leagues now for Inciarte, and just in his 32nd game for the D-backs. Quick feed as Peacock goes to first. The 1-2 pitch, curveball hit on a hop, backhanded from the knees, and then dropping it is BR. Tough play. It'll be a base hit for Inciarte. Back-to-back hits here in the second inning. The Diamondbacks with runners at first and second, and Bronson Arroyo, the pitcher, coming to the plate.
Almost looks like BR lost his footing a little bit.
Starting to see a few balls come out of the glove once the ball initially gets into the glove for Jonathan. We saw a lot of that last year. So 2 infield hits. Bronson Arroyo, not a bad hitter, 6 career home runs.
250 on the season.
Yeah, 6 for 24 on the year.
Rocking the double ear flapped helmet. Extra protection.
Swings through that fastball just to 88 miles an hour from Peacock. That's tough when you're facing a pitcher you don't know a lot about him. You might have been told before the game, don't go easy on the guy, he can swing it. But you can get burned with a guy who can swing the bat a bit. Curveball, that's a good one. Arroyo had 2 home runs back in 2006. The other 4 coming just 1 a year. See if he gets Uncle Charlie again. A little slider fouled off. In fact, Arroyo has not hit a home run since joining the Diamondbacks. He's played with the Pirates, Red Sox, and Cincinnati Reds, and all of those dingers coming in Cincinnati, or rather with the Reds. Fastball blown by. 3rd strikeout for Brad Peacock. He gets through the 2nd inning despite a couple of hits. 1-0 Arizona.
By 1. It's time to reap the benefits of a home field advantage, brought to you by Coldwell Bankers. So talking about the D-backs advantage over the Houston Astros over the last couple years since 2007, have with a 17-6 record against the Astros. Snapping that streak last night and trying to start a little bit different trend for the Houston Astros. Did it in dramatic fashion with that 1-run win last night. Kozar pitched a great game. Couple of timely hits and closing it out by Chad Qualls. Keep that scoreless inning streak going for the young man.
Ball zipped up here in Arizona. It was 110 yesterday, and they said it won't be quite as hot today, maybe a couple of degrees off of that figure. John Singleton trying to get hot with the weather. Had a base hit in the 1st inning, hit a little fly ball that dropped in left center. So 1 for 1 on the day. John hitting .226. What do we call that? The change or 2-seam fastball?
I'm not sure, but between the velocity of Arroyo and Singleton's propensity to pull the ball, I think the Arizona Diamondbacks are in good position with that shift.
Curveball's up and in, a ball and a strike.
I don't know. I literally have looked up a couple of reports on Bronson Arroyo, and it's sinker, slider, changeup, curveball, fastball. And then there's actually one in here that says unknown.
So that was the unknown for strike 1. There's the ground ball through the shift on the left side. Well, you pitch him away, you kind of leave a guy only one option. And John Singleton takes it perfectly. So he gets the leadoff hit here in the third inning.
Good for him, and that's what I've been waiting to see. That was a pitch away, and he stays right on it. Hits it pretty well going that way. You can see they're set up outside, which is pitching away from the shift. And Singleton just goes with it with those quick hands. That was a nice piece of hitting. That was good to watch.
Gorgeous work. And you can say all you want that it doesn't matter where you pitch a guy if you believe in the shift on him. But for me, it's just not accurate. You pitch a guy away, you leave him with only that option. Singleton, beautifully done. 2 for 2 on the day. Jason Castro at the plate. The Astros down a run here in the third inning. Paul Goldschmidt hit a bomb. That's.
Well, I just don't think you want to give the guy an opportunity. Do you? Because that's what it was. That pitch right there is giving Jonathan an opportunity to go that way.
You know, you put an extra infielder on the right side because you're trying to take a hit away, right?
Yeah.
But when hits are given on the other side, a lot of times you hear, well, it doesn't matter. We're not worried about the single. So, anyway.
Well, to lead off an inning, now you got the leadoff guy on.
That's right. A snap throw down to first base. 0-1 the count on Castro. Make that 1-1.
And, I mean, the argument for the Diamondbacks with that shift is what I was talking to earlier, is that we saw his spray chart yesterday and everything was to the right of second base.
Well, there's no doubt.
But just you got to pitch to the shift.
Yep.
And some guys don't like doing that because that's not how they approach hitters.
Yeah, that's a great point. I played with plenty of pitchers who only wanted to pitch away. And a lot of times, well, I'll just leave it at that. Guys you'd be surprised at that only wanted to pitch away, and yet it wouldn't work with today's shifts.
This is going into last night. That's that spray chart I was talking about. This is what I'm sure the Arizona Diamondbacks are looking at. Is looking one ball on the left side of the second base bag, and that's why everybody's shifted to that right. But again, you got to pitch into that shift a little bit.
Kirk Gibson probably thinking the same thing. Runner goes, the pitch, a swing and a miss, and the throw down, and they got him. So John Singleton, though we mentioned he does have a stolen base, he also now has been caught stealing. And a perfect throw by Montero, the catcher.
That's a buzzkill. Strike him out, throw him out.
Yeah, just really a perfect throw. It makes it easy on the infielder. Prado able to take that throw up above the bag. So that caught stealing of second goes 2-5. Here's a drive hooking down the left side and goes foul. I'm sure there are some other examples of a 2-5 caught stealing of second, but this will fit on that short list.
Never a dull moment on these scorecards, I tell you what.
So it's a double play with Castro striking out on the pitch. 3 hits aside, but 1 going long ball for the Diamondbacks. 1-0 Arizona. Ground ball right side. Nice play by Goldschmidt. He'll feed Arroyo at the bag, and that'll do it. The Astros get the leadoff single, but just send 3 to the plate in the third inning. 1-0. Diamondbacks on top.
We move to the bottom of the third here at Chase Field in Phoenix. Log on to csnhouston.com and head to Astros In-Game Live, where you can follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and much more. Also, vote for the player of the game. The winner will be revealed during Astros Post-Game Live. That's Astros In-Game Live on csnhouston.com. Ash.
Thanks, Julia. I don't know what Julia's got going on today. They've got lots of great food items here in Arizona.
She's hanging out at the pool. Are you kidding me?
She's had her legs in the pool. We know that.
Jeez.
ZZ Top is on hand.
Derby night.
That's not ZZ Top.
Just got back from the Belmont Stakes, it looks like.
Is that the owner of California Chrome?
Oh, man, I love the Doobie Brothers.
Top of the order for the Diamondbacks here in the third inning. A little broken bat looper right at Altuve. He makes the play, and out number one.
Now we've got a pitch by pitch is presented to you by Steel Dealers. Brad Peacock against Chris Owens. Fastball away. Comes back, paints that corner, gets the called strike, and then nothing but sliders to put Chris Owens away. Get him to chase once, throw a little bit further off, get him to chase twice, put him away. We saw that last night with Chad Qualls against Chris Owens to finish off that game with a couple of hard sliders over the outer part of the plate. Chris Owens was unable to lay off.
Struck out in the first inning. One of the 3 strikeouts picked up by Brad Peacock. Peacock averaging 5 walks per 9 innings this year. That's the second worst ratio for a starter with over 50 innings of work. Ubaldo Jimenez has the worst at 5.1. So that's not the kind of company you want to keep, and Brad Peacock has been trying to get much better here in recent starts.
So he's got that going for him.
Well, that's a good thing to have going for you if you move in the right direction.
Yeah, it can only get better, right?
You hope. Oh, and 2 the count. Waiting on deck, Mr. Goldschmidt. And he does not look like he's in the on deck circle to me, Blummer.
Yeah, we need to go have a talk.
That slider is laid off. Now, stats don't always bear out. Brad Peacock had not allowed a home run to the last 74 hitters he'd faced coming into play today. And then in the first inning, 2 hitters in, Paul Goldschmidt just launched one to right center. All Astros fans know what a rough start it was to the year for the Houston Astros. The Diamondbacks had that same kind of brutal start. And now the count will fill at 3-2. Diamondbacks lost 15 of their first 17 home games this year. And I don't imagine Kirk Gibson was fun to live around at that time. And that all included a couple of those home games being in Australia. Just below the knees. A 1-out walk to Owings, and it brings up Goldschmidt.
Not exactly the place you want to walk a guy with Goldie coming up, because we saw what he did last time. Fastball up, out over the plate. I can't get over that view. That's a great spot for that camera, and he couldn't have placed that home run any better. The young man from the Woodlands announcing his presence with authority this afternoon.
By the way, I mentioned Kyle Drabek, son of Doug Drabek, and he's back rehabbing after another Tommy John surgery.
Another?
I believe he had one even in his younger days, and a couple of years back he was determined that he needed a second one, so he's back rehabbing.
He's a good young pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks that has had his second one in recent history. Daniel Hudson, good sinker baller, but he's going through his second rehab on a Tommy John injury.
Good fastball at the knees. It's a ball and a strike.
That was a toss-up between me and Daniel Hudson on who they were going to name the rehab facility after out here in Arizona.
Were you offended when
no,
you didn't get the nod?
I was a little offended. I earned that right. It was a good 2 years I couldn't get off the DL.
Ground ball left side. Dominguez. Altuve. And on to first. They get the double play. 5-4-3 despite a brief bobble on the play. We'll see if the Diamondbacks have Kirk Gibson come out to the field. Apparently not. It is a 5-4-3. That'll do it. 1-0 Arizona.
Backs are still leading the Astros 1-0. And every second Wednesday after the lunar eclipse of the month, local and upcoming artists perform on Sports Talk Live CSN Soundstage. Robert Frith is the artist tomorrow at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Enjoy the tunes of Robert Frith behind that promo right there.
What was that about the lunar eclipse?
It's got to be perfect timing when you hear these guys. They are that good.
So it has nothing to do with Jupiter and Mars aligning and all that sort of thing?
No, but taking Pluto out of that, you have to readjust.
It's an 8-unit planetary system these days. Here's a drive right field off the bat of Robbie Grossman. Not deep. Down in the corner, making the catch is Parra. And the first out of the inning looked initially like Robbie might have gotten one.
That's what Bronson Arroyo does to you. You take a pretty good pass, it looks good, but just doesn't quite find the barrel.
So Robbie Grossman, who would walk back in the second inning, now 0 for 1 on the day, brings up Alex Presley, who had himself a base hit in the second. Hit a ground ball sharply right back up the middle through the legs of Arroyo and into center field. Bronson Arroyo has had plenty of success around the major leagues. Backdoor sweeping slider misses. 134 wins since 2004, 6th most in the majors over that span, trailing CC Sabathia, Roy Halladay, Mark Burley, Justin Verlander, and Cliff Lee. That's a pretty good list. I don't know if I came up with those names, Sabathia, Halladay, Burley, Verlander, and Lee, in some order, that I would think to insert Bronson Arroyo.
Been real quiet going about his business. Not really playing in those major markets, although we had some time in Boston.
Was that the unknown pitch? 84?
Yeah. I don't know. I just heard of the one-seamer yesterday, so.
You hadn't gotten that memo about Jared Kozart's third fastball, huh?
No. Caught me off guard. That wasn't real speed right there. Stay back.
I don't know how he does that.
He might literally have a string put on that ball and just yanks it when you start your swing.
Runs that fastball back, or the unknown And caught looking is Alex Presley. That ball might have been off the inside edge when it came by the plate.
Still having that motion coming back. It's tough as a left-handed hitter. You give up on it when you see it coming right at your right elbow. By the time you decide not to swing, it's coming back out over the plate. Pretty good reception by Miguel Montero, too.
3 strikeouts now for Bronson Arroyo. That's 2 down here in the 4th. And a comebacker on 1 hop. VR is going to be retired easily. A 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. But Bronson Arroyo breezes and enjoys the 1-0 Arizona lead.
The 4th, Diamondbacks over the Astros, and Jason Castro joins Astro legend Larry Dierker for an autograph signing at Whataburger. Head to 13270 Northwest Freeway from 11 to noon this Thursday, the 12th. Sign up to be the Whataburger fan and win great prizes, including lunch with Reed Ryan. Visit Astros.com for more info.
When's the last time you chose a restaurant by address?
Never.
You do that sometimes.
Location.
Right?
Well, if I want to be seen.
And you do.
Oh, yeah. I love to be noticed. According to you, I'm tough to miss.
You are a large beast.
Maybe I shouldn't go to a restaurant.
1-0 Diamondbacks. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Brad Peacock has been touched with the one big swing. Paul Goldschmidt, his 13th long ball of the year. It came in the 1st inning. 3 hits for each club. Just a 2-game series. And then both teams heading into Houston. 2 more coming up, and that'll do it for the year between the 2 clubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleanup man Miguel Montero at the plate. Fastball on the hands is fouled back. You know what the name of the ballpark was in Australia where the Diamondbacks and Dodgers started the year?
Koala Park.
That's a good guess, but a wrong guess. It's Sydney Cricket Grounds. So when you look up where the Diamondbacks play their home games, it's Chase Field and Sydney Cricket Grounds. Just thought you ought to know that.
Makes perfect sense.
Two and 2 the count, and now 3 and 2. Peacock has walked just 1. Got ahead immediately on Owings in the 3rd inning and walked him. And same story here with Montero. Leadoff walk in the 4th. It brings up the dangerous Martin Prado.
Leadoff walks. Not usually a good thing.
Martin Prado.
This series a matchup of a couple of clubs that were playing well. The Astros still playing well. Diamondbacks had won 5 of 6 coming into play before losing last night, but they made a game out of it and had a chance. 2 outs in the 9th inning to tie things with a base hit. The Astros have turned 1 double play on the afternoon. Pitch number 59 from Peacock. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner goes from first. Pitch a strike. Throw down a strike. And they got him. Perfect throw by Jason Castro as they nail Montero. And the way Montero glanced back makes you wonder, was there possibly a hit and run involved here?
Oh, I think there definitely was a hit and run involved. No offense to Miguel Montero. He'd be the first to admit he's not an absolute burner out there. But I think he's kind of wondering what happened right there and why he was thrown out by so much, because I think Prado was supposed to protect him.
Ground ball hit to second base. So after the leadoff walk, you get a caught stealing and now a ground out. And just like that, 2 down and the base is empty for Aaron Hill.
Second baseman, Aaron Hill.
That's one way to get rid of a leadoff walk. Have him run into an out.
That's one of those situations as a player, you never want to show up a teammate, but you get thrown out by 15 feet at second base, and there's that tendency to just take a glance back toward the plate, like, what's going on? Aaron Hill fly to left field. That was back in the 2nd. One ball and 1 strike on Hill. Aaron batting .248. It's the breaking ball on the ground foul. Brad Peacock has been fairly effective this year. First time through the order. Opposition hitters hitting .241, but then it has increased from there. .259 in the second pass through, and when he gets a third shot through, .313 has been the mark. Pitch is hit in the air right field. Easy coming on is Presley. He'll make the catch. That'll do it as just 3 come to the plate in the 4th inning. We played 4. Diamondbacks lead it 1-0.
1-0 over the Astros in the top of the 5th inning. Celebrate faith and family night with your Houston Astros this Saturday, June 14th, following the 3:10 p.m. game against the Tampa Bay Rays, featuring a post-game concert with Christian rock band Mercy Me. For tickets, visit astros.com/faith. I think that might be Rudy's family members in town, huh?
I think that might be Rudy.
I think rumor has it they only live about 20 minutes away from here, but well represented. Even got the wig out.
They have Gators here in Arizona?
Not if Rudy's here.
Not anymore, yeah. Yeah, they showed up in those tiger shirts in Houston. And
looks like he has the eye of the tiger.
Apparently they just picked him up on the road. The drive they made up. That wasn't in Houston. That was in Seattle, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you happened to be AWOL at that time. Nobody could find you.
I went into hiding.
A lot of valiant efforts. All came up empty.
Witness protection.
Brad Peacock leads off here in the 5th inning. Down a run. Struck out in the 2nd. Has the count at 0-2. And now he has struck out twice on the day. And we saw a little bit of ability last night from Jared Cozart.
Saw a variety of stances from Jared too.
Center fielder.
Leg kick and all kinds of good stuff.
He was having a good time with it. He was having a better time on the mound.
4 strikeouts now for Bronson Arroyo. Arroyo's been hammered pretty much this year by right-hand hitters. They've hit .346 against him. 3rd highest figure against a right-hand pitcher in the league this year. It's that fader that finds the plate.
Ooh, is that what you're going to call it?
The fader.
I'm on to there. Yeah, fader.
The Darth Fader.
Whoa. Well played.
Ball hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back, Peralta. He's at the edge of the track to make the catch. 2 down here in the 5th.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve has been erased twice today. The 2nd of which found him with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 2nd inning. And he got jammed, grounding into a fielder's choice to end that 2nd inning. Hitting .318. Out in front on that little sweeping drop down slider. The wiffle ball that didn't have a lot on it. The Astros came into play with yesterday's ball game. 14-18 both at home and on the road. Of course, the Astros have added the win from yesterday's game. Now 15-18 on the road.
This is Bronson Arroyo throwing BP to the kids earlier before the game. There's that wiffle ball. He beats everybody. Give the kid jam.
2-1 pitch. 3-1 the count. Well, this is not the most dazzling stuff the guys have seen in a while.
It's almost like Bronson just toys with guys, throwing it up there. Curveball here at 67, a curveball at 75.
This breaking ball hit in the air. Medium depth right center field. Right there to make the play, Parra, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 5th inning. Arroyo continues to breeze as the kids have a great time.
Beautiful Arizona afternoon in the bottom of the fifth here. Diamondbacks still leading the Astros by 1. Not a bad place for a picnic. And if you want to enjoy a Father's Day picnic on the field at Minute Maid Park this Sunday the 15th after 1:10 p.m. It's a game against the Tampa Bay Rays. Admission includes game ticket, post-game picnic buffet in the outfield, autograph session, and much more. For tickets, visit astros.com/picnic.
1-0 Diamondbacks on a Paul Goldschmidt home run. Deep into the pool in right center field. Brad Peacock has been good otherwise. He'll face the bottom third in the order here in the 5th inning. David Peralta leads it off. Had an infield single in the second. And 1-1 the count. Arizona Diamondbacks here at home just 11-24 as the ground ball goes to Altuve. Very sure-handed as he drops to a knee, and out number 1 in the 5th.
Center field, Ender Inciarte.
When the Astros get back home tomorrow, the 2 games with the Diamondbacks, Wednesday and Thursday, 7:10 starts. Dallas Keuchel goes against Brandon McCarthy tomorrow night. And in the Thursday game, Scott Feldman against Wade Miley. In the last 8 series now for the Astros, the club has won 5, split 2, and lost 1. Fastball on the inside edge. Following today's game, one way or the other, they'll have 6 consecutive series without a series loss. Well, it really is a nice stretch of games for the Astros. Astros have won the final game in 8 of their last 10 series. 1-2 the count. John Singleton starting to be a big part of things. Little looper. Stays at 1-2. Inciarte had a base hit, an infield hit in the 2nd inning. 2 of those 3 Diamondback hits came infield variety. And down on strikes on the high cheese. For Brad Peacock, that's his 4th on the afternoon, 2nd out here in the 5th inning.
Pitcher, Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah, that's just high cheese. Catch up to it if you can. More often than not, you can't.
Line drive on a hop, just a soft shot hit by Bronson Arroyo. He's thrown out without even getting to the bag. A 1-2-3 5th. Now Brad Peacock pitching well but trailing.
John Singleton on this road trip back in Minnesota, taking a Glenn Perkins fastball and rocketing it out to right field for his first career grand slam, second home run on the season. And today we're getting a chance to see him do a little bit fancier hit going the other way, which we haven't seen him do all season up until now. Beating that shift going that way. A little bit of a scouting report on Jonathan Singleton. Above average to plus power, I would agree with that. Seeing that average climb a little bit now that we see him going the other way. The great eye at the plate we're still yet to see. He's only got one walk on the season, but a pretty aggressive hitter. But I really wouldn't argue with the 270 potential with the 20-25 home runs. That would be a nice addition to this Astros lineup at first base.
Yeah, and I would add that with the swings that I've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy turns into a larger home run hitter than 20 to 25. He gets his hacks, seems to handle left-hand pitching fairly well. We'll see how it all plays out.
When I see him start driving the ball out the other way, then I'll buy into 25 plus.
Yeah. That's a great marker for a guy who's going to hit a bunch. So it is Singleton leading off here in the 6th inning. The Astros need to find a way to get on the board. Brad Peacock has pitched very well. But it's 1-0 Arizona. Paul Goldschmidt with an opposite field home run. And that back in the 1st inning, 2 outs at the time. Peacock had struck out the first 2 hitters. It's a nice little backdoor job at 69 miles an hour. Peacock looks like he's having fun.
Or maybe he just heard about the post-game spread and was pretty stoked.
Maybe he saw some video of his swings at the plate. That was close.
Working both sides of the plate. First couple pitches to Singleton still with the shift on. We're away. But of the off-speed variety, breaking ball sometimes gets rolled over.
The Astros were just 9-19 back in April.
Yikes.
A rocket. Nine and 19 in April. They turned it around in May, went 15-14. And now in the month of June, 5-3. You could see him trying to wait right there, but Arroyo flipping some soft stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't. I mean, the change of speeds right there is why those foul balls are happening. He is trying to wait and let that ball get a little bit deeper, but still pretty good pitches to hit.
We mentioned some of the numbers on the Astros club since May 11th. It's a good job protecting on a pitch that could get called on that inside edge.
It's like an inside changeup, 71 miles an hour.
Since May 11th, as we mentioned on the pregame show, the Astros are 18-10. They posted a team ERA of 2.46 in that span. There's a line shot, deep right field, back at the track and the wall. It's off the base of the screen. Singleton digs for second, and with a dive, he has a 2-bagger. That is hanging it out.
There's the OPS monster call from Singleton, from Springer. This ball's annihilated. Stayed through that. Just a good job of backing the ball up. Finally gets a pitch. He's able to wait a little bit longer on it. Thank goodness Parra bobbled that ball a little bit. Because you're testing a man with an extremely strong arm right there. You can see him digging. Nice leadoff double for the youngster. 3 hits on the day.
3 for 3. That's double number 2 now in the big leagues for John. Jason Castro at the plate hits the ground ball foul.
Singleton can buggy whip some balls.
Yes, he can.
Man, real handsy, loose. Gets those things back, and when he barrels it, I mean, that ball never had a chance to get over the fence because he hit it so stinking hard on the line.
Yeah, a lot of times you say when some young guys come up, or a ball club has gotten better with the youngsters. Well, the Astros have gotten much, much better. This ball slices down the left field side and deep, but foul. You look at the impact that George Springer has had on the club, and now what John Singleton is starting to do.
It's good to see, too. There was so much expectation put on George Springer, much like John Singleton. But to see them get up here into the show and maybe have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder saying, yeah, I belong here. And that's fun to watch. These guys are really taking advantage of their opportunity.
American League West since May 10th, May 11th being the figure. 18-10, that's the best mark in the West. The Oakland A's, even the A's trailing that figure. The A's lead the division with a 39-25 mark overall, 3.5 in front of maybe a surprising Angels club.
Yeah, they've been doing a pretty good job too of late. They beat the A's last night.
7 games over 500 are the Angels.
Imagine what if the Astros could just play .500 ball against the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
That record would be probably even better.
Well, last year the A's and the Texas Rangers just blew the Astros out of the water. Ground ball right side. That'll get the job done. Moving into third is Singleton on out number 1. So it's the shortstop Owings making the play, out number 1 of the inning. It brings up Matt Dominguez. So that potential tying run now 90 feet away. Matt Dominguez has grounded out a couple of times. Rather weakly today for Matt. Back to the mound and to first base. Offering on the first pitch, that slider.
Matty D was trying to hit a sacrifice fly to the front row restaurant here in left field.
To the Fat Burger stand out there about 500 feet away in left center.
Believe it or not, I was at a game. Justin Upton hit a ball that hit where they serve those Fat Burgers.
Ground ball, and it gets through with the infield drawn in. That'll score a run. Base hit for Matt Dominguez, and we're all even at 1. For Matty D, RBI number 27.
So they wonder why the infield's playing in, but even if the infield's playing back, that run's going to score. But Matty D taking advantage of the situation, put it in a great location. Chris Owings did everything he could, but if he does come up with that ball, he's still just going to probably have the out at first base, but it turns into a base hit RBI for Matt Dominguez. We're all tied up.
It's great to see everybody else, and you know, we talk about Springer so much and Altuve and what Fowler's been doing lately, John Singleton getting in the act, but really nice to see Matt Dominguez and Jason Castro and others getting into and being a big part of what the offense is doing.
Well, what gets lost in the process right there is that Castro did a great job of moving the Singleton, the runner, from second to third on that just a lousy ground ball.
Ground ball to first. Goldschmidt goes to short for 1. They'll bring it back to first, not in time, as Robbie Grossman able to leg it out. So it's a fielder's choice. Dominguez erased 3-6. 2 down as Alex Presley will come to the plate.
I'm not so sure about this one, Ash. Get a chance to take a second look. Great pick by Goldschmidt. Got Arroyo over there early covering it. Looks like he might have him. Kirk Gibson, the manager for the Diamondbacks, heading out to speak with Alan Porter. You see the ball in the glove.
At the time the ball was in the glove was the foot on the bag.
From that angle, it looks like it.
That's a tough ball. They are going to challenge this one, the Diamondbacks. And so the umpires will take a look. We've got the review on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous play.
If the call stands, the Astros will have a runner at first base and 2 down for Alex Presley. If not, the inning is over.
Is that the batter is safe at first base.
Just something awkward about seeing Joe West with the headset on the baseball field. I wonder if when he started out umpiring, if he ever thought he'd see the day where they'd have headsets on and communication with ground control to see if they got a call right.
Well, I still don't get it. I have no idea why the umpires on the field come over and put headsets on.
It's got to be just for explanation, but that ball to me looked like it was in the glove before that foot came down.
You think that's
enough to overturn it?
Yeah.
That's the only question.
Because that's really close.
Did short hop him a little bit, but it hits him in the heel right there.
Yeah, so is the foot on the bag now with that ball thoroughly in the glove? As you can see, it's out now. And there it's in. Is the foot on the bag or not?
I don't know. You get kind of lost back there trying to read whose foot's where. Then if you go from the other angle, you're trying to figure out when the ball actually gets in the glove.
Yeah. Yeah, this angle I have found that you just can't tell when the ball is in the glove.
Because if he went where it disappears, it's, yep, he's out. But
yep.
You saw the ball kind of rattle around there.
Well, for me, if I had to review that one, I'd say it's just not enough to overturn the call. Would you be inclined to go?
Yeah, I would have no problem with that explanation because I feel the same way.
And again, on the umpires, I thought when this whole replay system was coming into play this year that they were going to have somebody upstairs that would just relay with a card or otherwise the information down to the field. I don't quite get this unless there's nice elevator music for the guys to enjoy for a little while.
I'm sure it's explanations.
Well, they've called it out. They have reversed the call, so they must have seen the one angle and liked it. So it's a double play. 3-6-1 to end things. The Astros get on the board, though, and tie it at 1.
Your D-backs are now on 98.7 FM.
Diamondbacks and great guests, hot topics, and no holds barred debate. Kevin Eschenfelder serves it up fresh every single night on Sports Talk Live every weeknight at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet.
A lot of fun being had. It's a 1-1 game as the two teams conclude this series here in Arizona. We've seen a number of Astros fans, and great to see them. Make your plans to join us at Minute Maid Park as the Astros come back for 5 now. Dallas Keuchel tonight, tomorrow night, Scott Feldman in the Thursday game with the Diamondbacks in Houston. So with the 1-1 tie, it's the top of the order here in the 6th inning, and Peacock falls behind 2-0 on Parra. This pitch is popped up. VR, the shortstop on the outfield grass, calling, waving off everybody, and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the 6th inning. What do you think of what you see from Brad Peacock?
Pretty impressive. Doing a good job locating that fastball. I think he's almost effectively wild with that fastball. But he's got such good late life on it. You can see that pitch to Parr right there. Popped it up. Good slider. Yet to see. I'm not sure. I don't recall seeing a changeup yet.
Finds the strike zone with the heater.
A lot more sliders than breaking balls. He's got that good 12-6er. He tries to jump ahead with it, but just not getting some of the calls.
Chris Owings has walked in a couple of plate appearances. Nice play by Brad. And 2 down quickly here in the 6th inning. Were you surprised when Brett Oberholzer was sent to the minor leagues and Brad Peacock wound up staying in the rotation?
Well, I'm not surprised Brad Peacock stayed in the rotation, but I was a little bit surprised when Oberholzer got sent down. I'm a big fan of what Brett does and his approach to the game and how he has that bulldog mentality on the mound. And the way he finished out last year is what shocked me a little bit. I know he didn't have many wins in this season. I know he had a streak of losses, but a lot of that was due to the fact he got 0 run support. He was one of the league leaders in lack of runs for. So that kind of played against him, but he came back and he had a great start last time he came out before getting sent back down. So I was a little shocked.
Paul Goldschmidt, you don't want to make a mistake on it, yet you don't want to put him on for Miguel Montero, who waits on deck. Goldschmidt homered, his 13th in the 1st inning, and then grounded into a double play. 2-1 the count. We've been hunting for Julia for a long time. Anybody seen her?
Well, I've read 9,000 promos. I think she's already packed it on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you're eating, you can't do a lot of talking.
Guess not. Well, it's between the swimming and the eating. Getting her laps in.
Well, she did it in the right order at least. You don't eat and then go swimming.
Yeah, you don't want to cramp up. That's a terrible thing.
2-out walk to Goldschmidt. It will bring up Montero with a man aboard. You've been served?
About to be served. I know you've been begging for this.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Is that legal?
I have so much
you have
food
to
here.
have a permit for this?
This is insane.
Yeah, here. This is the Venom dog.
I'm going to back out of the way.
Who wants the Venom dog?
This guy, right?
Okay, but look at the D-Bat dog. I don't know if you can get this on this camera up here.
Do you have a?
How did you get that in the booth?
Do you have a chainsaw to get through this thing?
Enjoy. 3 forks.
Wow.
Look at the size of that. I mean, are you kidding
And there's
me?
fries in case you're still hungry.
That's a family meal for
I
your
don't think
gang
this
right
stick
there,
is
Blummer.
worthy, man.
You think
Really?
that,
You're just going to stand there and hover over us and watch us eat this thing, aren't you, Julia?
Gonna watch.
you think you, the wife, and the kids could
This
could
is a
do
family
meal
meal
on that?
for the Blums right here.
Wow.
Dig in, Ash.
Look at this. Yeah.
You've been talking about it. I know you want to get a piece.
Well, you know what? It just doesn't seem appropriate at the moment. Julia, have you had to? What did you
It's
think of this
spicy.
last
It's
night?
spicy. It's delicious, though.
Yeah. Did you finish it off?
I didn't even try. That one's stuffed. Remember that one's stuffed with bacon, cheese, jalapenos.
Yeah, I was afraid that wasn't going to be enough for Jeff to eat.
You got to go in, I guess. I mean, everybody's watching, huh? This one was. What do we got here?
You have oxygen?
No,
Wow.
I need an adrenaline shot after this to unclog my arteries.
That actually looks really good. Save me some.
There's a good chance.
Julia, you can bring all your friends, and I think we're going to have plenty.
That thing is $25, by the way.
This one?
Yeah.
What's this one?
It's a hefty price, 10.
Oh, this one's a bargain then. Is that good?
That thing is huge. It's nacho cheese in the middle. This ain't bad. Hope everybody at home enjoys listening to me chew on this thing.
I know I do. 2 balls and a strike on Montero. Yeah. You don't appreciate how big that is from that photo.
This is somebody's femur.
That's how big is that? At least 2 feet across, right?
I think we had stats on it yesterday. I think 18 inches, maybe 12, 18.
Which is popped to the seats on the left side. Wow, I would have guessed more than that, but
I could put my shoe up next to it so we could measure it.
yeah, your shoe
that might
loses.
contaminate the area. You know, it's only about This is about a size 14 right here.
I see yours comes with fries.
Yeah. Quit picking up my food, man.
Yeah, it's going to be barely enough for you to eat.
Famished.
We're in the 6th inning, a 1-1 tie.
Thoroughly distracted right now. What's happening?
We're all even in the food department as well. Julia, you done good.
Yeah, you did. She's been spoiling us on this road trip.
Yeah.
Between the donuts and now the hot dogs, you've done real good, girl. Really appreciate you.
Guys, just remember this.
Yeah.
Hey,
gonna hold this over our heads for a little bit.
We need to bring a few more in here to enjoy this.
Good grief, Ash.
What? What are you? Are you hoarding that thing or what? That thing won't keep for a month. Pitch in the dirt, and that's going to move Goldschmidt into second base. It'll be a wild pitch, and now a 3-2 count on Montero. Martin Prado waits on deck. That was one of those well out in front of the plate jobs, and a great job by Castro to keep this in front. I don't even see how there's any way to dig into this thing. You went right for the heart and soul of your bad boy.
That's what I do.
You eat from the center out? Is that how you go?
It looks like the only opportunity I have to get after this thing.
So what's the flavor you would praise over that one?
I'm impressed with the nacho cheese bacon flavor they got going on here.
3-2 hit sharply, but VR is right there with the shift on, and they make the play. So it works out perfectly, and the Astros get out of the bottom of the 6th inning. After the 2-out walk, he's stranded.
Dealer. That's a lot of pressure. Get a look and see what Bronson Arroyo was doing to Alex Presley. Some high, soft pitches up in the zone, bringing back that fastball / changeup. Then that wiffle ball slider. Tough to stay back on those pitches, and then he gave up on that ball on the inside as it tailed back over the inside corner, and he gets the call.
It's an offensive haven here in the Phoenix area, but really hasn't been the case. We've seen only one home run in the 2 games. That by Paul Goldschmidt back in the 1st inning for the Diamondbacks today. The Astros have put 1 run on the board. It came in the 6th to tie it, as this ball is driven but hooked foul down the right field side. Bottom 3 in the order: Presley, VR, and the pitcher spot. Josh Fields getting loose. So you would have to assume that Peacock is done after 6 innings. Five hits for Houston, and now 6 as Presley lines one into center field. His first hit of the day. Make that 2nd hit. He had one back in the 2nd.
Shortstop Jonathan VR.
Nice piece of hitting staying on that ball over the outer third. Seen some good ABs from Alex Presley. The numbers don't dictate, but I think he's had some pretty good at-bats for the Houston Astros.
Really seems to be one of those guys that sees the ball well and just lays the barrel on the ball. He's driven back to the bag. Presley runs well, and yet he hasn't been a big part of the stolen base game for the club. Presley has stolen just one on the year, has not been caught. Bunting at third base side and leaving it foul as VR. This is a part of the game that's been missing, as well as hitting balls to left field, especially from the left side of the plate, that we saw so much last year. But last year he was a bunt ready to happen.
Kind of went with that slashing hitter we like from the left-handed side of that box for Jonathan VR. Bringing that third baseman and then just scald a rocket past him.
Bunts it in the air, first base side. It'll drop untouched. And now 2 strikes on Jonathan. Looked like he was trying to drag one with him there. VR, a good long look on down to Pat Listash with the signs. Jesus Guzman has a bat. He waits in the on-deck circle. Diamondbacks have a right-hander getting loose in their pen down the left side. Arroyo firing on to first base. And again, the Astros love to run, and they've done it well this year. 49 stolen bases, caught 15 times. You can add 1 to that 15 that was picked up in the 4th inning today. And now the pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Come on, B, come on, B.
I guess that was the 3rd inning with John Singleton. VR hits it sharply on a hop. Hill makes the play. He'll get 1 back to first, not in time. But what a play at second by Aaron Hill.
There's a bullet off VR's bat. Heck of a play by Aaron Hill. You can see the fancy footwork all the way around. I'm not sure if that was, I'm trying to get out of the way and I'll throw my glove at it, or if he meant to do that, but a great play nonetheless. Get that lead runner.
Jonathan VR stung a couple of balls last night as Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, comes out to the mound. But back to VR. A couple of hot shots late in the game and got nothing to show for it. Here's another one today. So when you're struggling with the bat and you have that start to build up on you, it's easy to lose your composure. I would say of VR, he has shown signs of growing up quite a bit this year compared to what we saw last year. But you know, a lot is going through that mind.
I'll tell you what, he's being tested right now.
He is. Well, you can talk strategy if you're Tarek Brock and everything right there, and no doubt VR is listening, but he's running a lot through his head.
The hardest thing is when you're not getting hits is you want to change something in order to get hits. It's not necessarily the swinging all the time. It's just we've got a bad case of Adamitis. You just keep finding a way to hit the ball at people. It's just you got to keep swinging. As long as you're barreling it up and having some solid at bats, things are bound to change for you, hopefully.
So Jesus Guzman is the pinch hitter here. We're in the 7th inning, a 1-1 game. VR was speeded first. And Arroyo steps off. Brad Peacock showed that he can't swing the bat. At least that's the way it appeared. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today. And a strike on Guzman. Arroyo has gone the distance for the Diamondbacks. 1 out into the 7th inning here. Brad Peacock 6 innings, and it appears that it's the end of the line for Brad. Just 3 hits allowed, 1 of those a home run, and the 1 run. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. There's the line on Bronson Arroyo. It's been very good. And a lob over to first base. With that Astros running game this year, Jonathan VR, 11 stolen bases, 3 times caught. Held on by Goldschmidt, and another toss over. Big haul on the right side for Guzman. Aaron Hill shading toward the bag at second. Outfield just about straight away. There goes VR. Little tapper, rolls foul on the first base side. Well, VR heads on back to first base. At some point, when you're struggling with the guy with the bats, the running game is about the only ploy you can go to.
A lot of managers like to give guys that are struggling a little bit that hit and run, force them to swing a little bit. But with that runner running, it creates a couple extra holes with guys up the middle trying to cover for the steal.
And for Guzman, the hits have been hard to come by. That pitch behind him.
I wonder what he's trying to set up with that pitch.
Well, that doesn't back you out. That moves you the other direction. And that's a pretty nice catch by Montero. That's about the most casual behind a hitter's back pitch I think I've ever seen. 2-2 is taken for a ball. So with 1 out, a 3-2 count, you've got to figure VR is on the move here. We mentioned earlier some of the Venezuelan-born players here. Guzman, another one of those. Three-two runner goes, strike 3 called, and the throw down has VR now in a rundown, and Goldschmidt will apply the tag. It goes 2-for-3 on the caught stealing. A double play on the strikeout as Guzman simply took strike 3.
covered. Check out Sportsnet Central every night at 6:10 and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. We welcome you back out to Chase Field, and I am way up in the engineering control room. Here they can open and close the roof, the doors, handle the air conditioning, everything in the ballpark, really. Can you believe they let me up here? All right, check this out, though. These are the buttons. The buttons to open and close the roof. Guys, I'd open it, except I know you don't want to get too hot and sweaty up there.
Oh, you are thoughtful. You brought the food, and now you're keeping the roof closed for us.
Yeah, you open that thing, it might get a little ugly on the flight trying to sit next to me.
Those look like rather important buttons. Yeah.
It's amazing. It just takes a couple of buttons like that to do something major, like open a roof of a stadium.
Like military installation buttons.
Oh, you don't push that one.
No, please don't.
Open the silos.
We go into the bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-1 tie. First pitch is driven down the right field side. It's slicing as it goes foul. Martin Prado at the plate. Prado 0 for 2 on the day. Josh Fields has taken over on the hill for Houston.
Tough numbers for Josh. 6.04 ERA on the season. He's got 2 saves mixed in there. He's only thrown 25 in the 3rd innings.
It's a ball and a strike on Prado. He's had some 300 seasons in the major leagues, primarily with the Atlanta Braves. Bat goes through. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Josh had a pretty good outing last time up in Minnesota. Inning in 2/3. He had 4 punch outs.
Worked once in that Minnesota series. Worked twice in the Angels series prior. Count stays at 1-2.
Trying to take a shot at an Astros fan up there. If I had a webbing in my hand, I would have caught that.
Unfortunately, I'm right-handed and I don't wear a glove on my right hand. 1-2 pitch off speed in the dirt. You know, with the stuff that Josh Fields has, I'm a bit surprised that he's given up 25 hits and 25 in the 3rd innings. I could see him being one of those guys who gives up far fewer hits than the innings pitched.
It's just a command issue for Josh. Fall behind, and even though you throw the ball about 95 miles an hour, somebody's going to catch up to it.
He's walked 9. That's a whip of 1.34. And Prado just trying to stay alive.
Prado's doing a pretty good job of getting on top almost in some of these pitches.
So Brad Peacock pitches well. He leaves and will have nothing to do with the outcome of today's game. 6 innings of 1-run ball. And again, fouling it is Prado.
That woman has been waving those flags for a very long time. She is a staple at Chase Field.
Is that the rooting lady?
That is not. She is a different woman. Rooting lady is closer to the dugout. Susan.
And now 3-2. We say rooting lady. There's a lady who comes out and cheers during batting practice for the Diamondbacks, and it's been going on for years. And they take some of the best batting practice in all of the major leagues because of it.
She is a master encourager.
Which is fouled back again. Does she cheer equally for everybody on the ball club during batting practice?
If you have an Arizona Diamondbacks jersey on, she is going to cheer her brains out for you.
Does she name an MVP of batting practice at the end of the year?
I'm not sure. I've never won it.
And again fouling it off is Prado.
Let's go, Prado.
Imagine being Josh Fields right about now.
Those would be big time home runs if they were playing in their other home stadium in Sydney. Cricket grounds.
That's a 360 field, right?
Yeah. You ever seen a cricket match?
Well, not in person, no. I have not made that trek.
Is that on the Ocho that you caught that cricket match?
Yeah, that's what it is. Hit to the gap in right center field. Fowler on the move. Won't get there. This will go to the wall. Prado into second. He'll keep on chugging, and he has a leadoff triple here in the seventh.
What a great at bat Martin Prado put together there, spoiling some high heaters. He finally gets on top of this one from Josh Fields, squares it up nicely. Fowler gives it a great effort, but off the right-handed bat, that ball is going to be tailing away from the center fielder. Dexter Fowler just didn't have enough leg to get underneath it. Gave it a great effort, but once it gets by him in that gap, really nobody there to back him up, and Martin Prado was on his horse from the get-go.
In particular, when you get an outfielder to dive and then has to go chase the ball, it's going to be 3 bags. So that leadoff triple now has the Diamondbacks with the go-ahead run at third base. Nobody out for Aaron Hill. Infield draws in. From the stretch, Fields with the good curveball.
Golden opportunity for the Diamondbacks here.
Triple number 22 on the career of Martin Prado. Hill hits it in the air, center field, plenty deep enough to get a run. Back is Fowler. He'll make the catch. Tagging from third is Prado. He will score without a throw. And the D-backs on top 2-1 here in the seventh.
And that's part of the command I'm talking about with Josh Fields. Sometimes his fastball has a tendency to leak back over the plate. Doing Aaron Hill a favor right there. Lofting a nice easy fly ball to center, and Prado scores easy. But threw a great breaking ball to get ahead, but you can see that fastball right there, center cut. He's lucky Aaron Hill didn't do more with that one.
1 out, a run in. Base is empty for Peralta. Well, this is a game you know both clubs feel like they need. The Astros have continued to just move forward. 29 wins, 36 losses, 7 games under 500. It is remarkable that they've gotten to this point. 0-2 the count. The Diamondbacks at 10 games under 500, 28-38. And they're in that division with the San Francisco Giants, are just hot as it gets right now. Hit in the air to left field. Grossman drifts to the line to make the play, and 2 outs in the seventh.
See what run differential does to a team's record. The Astros that -64 early on, but since that +26, and that's where you want to do what you want to do, and that's a credit to the pitching and what they've done. Also a credit to the offense, compensating for great pitching, helping those guys out. But the Oakland A's are off the charts as far as I'm concerned. Those are amazing numbers. Those plus run differentials for them are amazing.
They are averaging right at 2 runs a game better than the opposition. VR tries to backhand the ground ball and simply has it kick off. It looked like his arm. It's an E6 on VR. So some balls starting to get away from Jonathan. Inciarte reaches.
He sat back and let this one play him a little bit. Not too sure about his footing. It almost looks like he's skating around out there. When your feet are in a good spot, it's going to create some hard hands.
Well, remember a year ago, VR had so many balls to one side or the other that he simply never corralled. This year, the first third of the season, I would say he handled everything in sight and some out of sight. And now just starting to struggle a bit. First Houston error on the afternoon.
And even early on in the season, when he was fielding the ball so well, the average wasn't skyrocketing. Yeah, he had a couple home runs mixed in there, but it really didn't seem to be a carryover from offense to defense. That was the one consistent for him early in the season, was the defense.
Fly ball right center field. That's in the gap. Fowler can't get there. Here comes Inciarte being waved to the plate. He'll make it without a throw. 3-1 Diamondbacks on top. RBI double as the Diamondbacks get it out of the 9 spot here. Cody Ross, the pinch hitter, produces.
Fastball up in the zone. Cody Ross has had a history of hitting fastballs a long way. Just good professional batting right there, going the other way in that opposite field gap.
The E6 proving big in the inning. Of course, that's an unearned run, but it's 3-1 Diamondbacks lead here in the 7th inning. Back to the top with Gerardo Parra, and the Astros are going to walk him intentionally as they'll go for the shortstop, Chris Owings. That's the 4th wide one. So Parra will jog on down to first base. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. And Owings will come to the plate.
Now back, shortstop, Chris Owings.
The Astros pan down the right field side quiet. There's been a lot of work for the bullpen recently. Starters, for whatever reason, whether it's manager's decision or ineffectiveness, not getting as deep into ball games, the bullpen has been utilized a great deal. And so Josh Fields out there trying to get out of this 7th inning. Owings 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's also drawn a walk. Have you finished that corn dog yet?
I have not. I may need a couple days.
I was anticipating weeks. Well, crossed up is Jason Castro, and this one kicks away. Runners move up. Let's see if we can get a peek at this one. That fastball just runs right in. Castro started down as if he was anticipating breaking ball, and over it is cross-up time for the Astros.
That's a 95-mile-an-hour cross-up. That's no fun right there.
Yeah.
That'll strike the fear of God in you right there.
So who is messing up?
Pitchers. I'm always going to put it on the pitchers.
It's happening so many times. And last year, the same story, maybe to a larger degree.
Yes, you're just watching the Astros in recent days. You're wondering, well, it's just one time. But we've seen a year and a half of this now, and it has been pretty consistent with the cross-ups.
Yeah, quite frankly, it's gone way beyond an amusing tale.
Well, I think there's a definite concern that needs to be talked about.
Ball and a strike. Quite frankly, Castro may be fortunate he didn't break a finger on this fastball that just ate him alive. Good swing by Owings. 1-2 the count. The Astros' only run of the game came in the 6th inning. They got a leadoff double out of Jonathan Singleton. Castro moved him up on a ground ball to the right side, and then Matt Dominguez with a base hit to plate that run. The infield was in at the time. For the Diamondbacks, one in the first inning, that on the Goldschmidt home run, and then two more now here in the seventh inning, and they're trying to add further. See Castro effectively kicking the feet out and getting the knees down to block that curveball, but there's got to be a question mark at some point in your head as a catcher whether to make that move. Wondering, are you going to get another fastball?
That is not a good feeling.
Horrible. Ball hitting the gap, right center field, shallow, coming on Presley. A nice jump as he makes the play. So that'll do it. Fields minimizes the damage. A couple of runs for Arizona as they lead 3-1.
And in honor of Father's Day, come out to Minute Maid Park this Sunday to see your Astros take on the Tampa Bay Rays at 1:10. Plan to get to the ballpark early as 10,000 fans will receive a barbecue grill set courtesy of Houston Methodist. To get your tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Speaking of grilling, maybe the next time you guys grill, you can put a D-bat dog on the grill or a Venom dog.
You know I will.
Did you enjoy it?
It's going good, yeah. It's a lot of work, though.
Julia, the food is great, absolutely. I don't know how you can mention grilling right about now, though. We have got the next month's meal here. 3-1. Diamondbacks on top. Jeff Blum enjoying a little ballpark food.
You better believe it.
Dexter Fowler at the plate. First pitch swinging. 0-1 the count. We're in the 8th inning, and Brad Ziegler now, submarining right-hander on for the Diamondbacks.
Good numbers. Been the setup guy here for quite a while.
Been a couple of days since Ziegler has worked. Allowed a run in one inning his last time out, that against Atlanta. But Bronson Arroyo has a strong performance this afternoon, and he's in a position to pick up a W.
Continuing that ownership of the Houston Astros.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had some phenomenal numbers lifetime against Houston. 2-2 the count on Dexter. Now Fowler gets timeout. The Astros lead in hits 6-5. And here's another one as Dexter Fowler shoots one into right field. Leadoff single, his first hit of the afternoon, and he's reached a couple of times, 2 times in 4 plate appearances. Numbers are just staggering for Dexter Fowler.
Second baseman, Jose
Loves to get those arms extended. Xavier usually working that sinker with that submarine delivery. The ball's constantly down in the zone, and that's where Dexter Fowler has a chance to get extended.
Kyle Farnsworth gets loose in the Astros pen. Jose Altuve looking for that first knock of the day. He's 0 for 3. Chops one to third, a big hop. Prado to Hill and Goldschmidt with the double play. Well, the Diamondbacks have now picked up 4 double plays on the afternoon. When you factor in a couple of strike 'em out, throw 'em out double plays, this is the second one turned on a ground ball. So the Astros having a rough day in that regard.
It's a pretty impressive double play. Prado does a great job of getting rid of that ball quickly because Dexter Fowler was bearing down on Aaron Hill. Great exchange by Aaron to get Altuve. Those are 2 guys who can run pretty good on a not so hard hit ball.
So you get that leadoff single, and then your hottest hitter, Jose Altuve, grounds into the twin killing. 2 outs, base is empty here in the 8th. John Singleton comes to the plate. He's 3 for 3. That's a tough strike.
To say the least.
I'm going to guess if I'm a hitter and that is called a strike on me, that I'm figuring I haven't earned my reputation yet. Ground ball is foul outside the bag at first base.
This will be the first pitch of that AB.
Wow.
That's in the other box.
Goodness gracious.
Rob Drake. Behind home plate. When you turn around and go, Rob, don't blink next time. Stay with me.
Flight schedules mean a lot. Oh, and 2 the count on Singleton. Ground ball off the glove of the pitcher. Onto the third baseman who makes the play. 1-5-3 to do it. Ziegler gets it started. So the Astros get a hit and leave nobody. 3-1 Arizona.
I'm hanging out at the left.
Astros. And remember, every Friday home game at Minute Maid Park is Friday Night Fireworks, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next time you can catch the Friday Night Fireworks will be this Friday against the Tampa Bay Rays. For more info, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
Thanks, Julia. And always a good time at the Friday Night Fireworks. Kyle Farnsworth comes on now to pitch for Houston. As we work here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Diamondbacks with a 3-1 lead.
First baseman.
Kyle's got that power sinker coming over from the Mets. 3 saves out of 4 opportunities this year. Giving up 2 bombs in 24 innings. Walks and strikeouts almost even. Last time he was out there, he went in a third of an inning here in Arizona. Got 1 punch out.
We are the only day game going on today. Everything else under the lights later on. And we thank Major League Baseball. Paul Goldschmidt leads it off. He's 1 for 2. Homered, grounded into a double play, and drawn a walk. Josh Fields stands to lose it if the Astros don't turn this thing around. Farnsworth finds the strike zone. 0-1. 13 bombs on the year for the big first baseman. Still just a baby and one of the game's great power hitters. Overall hitters, for that matter.
Yeah, I think you're pretty safe lumping him in there. Some of the better hitters of the game today. Future MVP.
That home run back in the first inning for Goldschmidt, his 2nd career against Houston pitching. Slider drilled to the gap in left center field. Bauer can only cut it off, but as he gets it back in, not before Goldschmidt has a 2-bagger. His 2nd hit of the afternoon. The scene shifts to Minute Maid Park as the Astros and Diamondbacks continue their home series tomorrow night. Pre-game live starts at 6:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Get a look at the Astros' upcoming schedule presented by Progressive. Astros leave here after this short 2-game series to finish off the 4-game series in Houston against these Arizona Diamondbacks. Both night games, and then they head into the weekend against the Tampa Bay Rays before getting the day off after Father's Day. Then they are back on the road again with another 2-game set up in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals. Ex-third base coach Matt Williams managing that team, and then down to Florida for a 4-game set over the weekend with the Tampa Bay Rays. Not sure you're even going to have a chance to miss me, Ash.
I miss you the instant you're gone. You kidding me?
Let's see right through that.
Don't look that hard, okay?
Don't have to.
Relax the X-ray vision a bit. Farnsworth touched immediately with that double. Fly ball down the left field side and fairly deep, slicing in the corner, and nice play by Robbie Grossman as he went into foul territory. Out number 1 here in the 8th.
Tough angles in the corners here at Chase Field for both right and left fielders. Gets kind of quirky down there in the bullpen, but a good job by Robbie running to a spot, making the play, and keeping Goldschmidt at second base.
First base is open as Prado comes to the plate, and don't know if that would be something they might be discussing as to how to deal with Prado versus the following hitter, Aaron Hill. It was Martin Prado who got things going in the 7th inning. He was the leadoff hitter, and he fouled off pitch after pitch. The count was 3-2, eventually gapping one into right center field. A leadoff triple, and that got it all started. The Diamondbacks breaking up that 1-1 game. The runner goes from second, and an easy stolen base. Paul Goldschmidt has picked third.
5th on the year for Paul Goldschmidt. Doesn't run a lot, but picks his spots.
Well, he picked a spot right there. And if the Diamondbacks would like to get some insurance, and I would assume they would, that's a big piece of it. Oh, and 1 the count on Prado.
bring the infield in for the Houston Astros, trying to cut that run off at home plate. I'm sure Goldie will be off on contact.
So that infield all the way in. A good slider's a strike. 0-2 the count. That was a good take, by the way, from Prado to allow Goldschmidt to pick third base. Big strikeout if Kyle Farnsworth could get it. And he got it. Just brings the fastball at 94 right on the inside corner.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices, or one of the 17 that Alan Ashby has. Join the millions of subscribers by visiting Astros.com for details.
That's just wrong on your part. You know that, right? There we go. Yeah.
Look at that.
There's my devices, high-tech as they may be.
Stuff going on there.
What do we have? We have a camera floating around here right now.
Sneaky like that.
Aaron Hill at the plate. Avoids that fastball. 1-0 the count. Aaron Hill drove in run number 2. That was the go-ahead run. Sacrifice fly with nobody out at the time in that 7th inning, right on the heels of the leadoff triple by Prado. I feel like you guys are ganging up on me. I'm not sure what this is all about. Pitch is fouled on the first base side. Diamondbacks have a right-hander warming in their pen down the left side. Will Harris, we've seen him. That was in last night's game. Started trying to think back. Was this a 3 or 4 game series? No. Just a 2-gamer and a brief 5-game road trip. The Astros, with a win today, would make it 4 out of 5. But it's going to be a tough win to get now. One and 2 the count on Hill. Give up that leadoff double as Goldschmidt picked up here in the 8th inning. Factor in a stolen base for Goldschmidt. And if Farnsworth gets out of this inning without any damage, it will be a Houdini act. Fly ball into right center field. Coming on, Presley cannot make the play. Extra bases for Hill. RBI double. And there's the Diamondbacks insurance. It's 4-1 now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Big swing for Aaron Hill.
Desperation out there in right for Alex Presley, realizing with 2 outs how he desperately needed to make that play to keep that runner from crossing home plate, but Aaron Hill got just enough of it. Drop it in front of him. Big insurance run.
And now Hill in scoring position. Still 2 outs. David Peralta at the plate. Like a little bit of frustration there for Bo Porter. First pitch in for a strike.
Do you think it's because he wished Sip was out there?
In right field or on the mound?
Right field.
Oh, okay. We'll have to ask him after the game. I'll leave that up to you.
I would say I wouldn't leave it up to Sparky.
Pitch in the dirt. Aaron Hill can't move up. Nice job by Jason Castro. Brad Peacock, 6 innings of 1-run ball. Josh Fields worked 1 inning and allowed 2 runs. 1 of those earned. Costly error by Jonathan VR.
Interesting to see Rudy Owens up in the bullpen. We didn't see him yesterday when we said that Tony Sip played right field yesterday, but he said that he wasn't going to use his long guy in some of the interviews that we saw after the game yesterday.
No. So you have the option of using your long guy, or you can use your pitcher as one of the outfielders.
Yeah, and you got Darren Downs down there. Took the day off yesterday, so.
Tony Sebb was effective in that inning. A couple of strikeouts against left-hand hitters.
That would have been pretty impressive to see him strike out a guy, go catch a fly ball and right, and then come back in and get another strikeout. Could you imagine? That would have been awesome. That'll put all the sports bureaus in full effect trying to dig that up, maybe.
Of course, that whole thing left Marwin Gonzalez going to left field as this little pop is at shortstop. VR will make the play, and Marwin got caught on a tough play in the 9th inning, and it almost cost the club. 4-1 D-backs.
Ninth here in Phoenix. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Today, Keegan Williamson says, "Let's go Stros." Good stuff there. Thanks for tweeting your photo. Remember to tweet to #CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Also, we asked and you answered on Twitter, a Twitter question, what's the biggest reason the Astros have been the best in the AL West since May 11th? Mr. Tony Cervantes says the pitching staff has been lights out. Qualls has shut the door in the ninth as the team's closer, and Arthur 9. Pitching has been great. Quality starts are becoming expected, and this team plays well with a lead. #GoStros, guys.
Thanks, Julia. A lot of good reasons right there. Addison Reed, the closer now for the Diamondbacks, comes on to shut it down in the 9th inning as the Astros will send 4, 5, 6 to the plate. Jason Castro gets it started. Addison Reed on the season 15 of 17 in save situations.
Throws a lot of strikes, throws hard. Good fastball, 93, 95 miles an hour. Good slider.
Starts it with the slider and misses. Well, that is the fastball at 93.
Well, that was going to be impressive.
Yeah. J.R. Richard type slider. Castro 0 for 3 on the day. Jason struck out into one of the 2 strike him out, throw him out double plays today. And again, 2 others turned on ground balls. So it's been a big day with the double play. You work yourself into 4 double plays and it's tough to win a game. On the outside edge, it's 1-2 on Castro. We mentioned Brad Peacock pitching well for 6 innings, 1-run ball. He left with a no decision. Bronson Arroyo, very effective through 7, 6 hits allowed, 1 run, and a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. Bronson Arroyo in a position to win today's game. Strike 3 called. Castro caught looking, doesn't like the call. But he's gone with an 0 for 4 day. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Comcast Sportsnet's presentation of Houston Astros baseball is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. With one out, it brings up Matt Dominguez. Looks like a snowy scene. Just arid, huh? Matt Dominguez 1 for 3. Drove in the lone Houston run on the day. That came in the 6th inning. Infield was drawn in. Singleton was at third base at the time, and Matt Dominguez shot one through the left side. Taking all the way on the 2-0, Matt Dominguez has the count at 2-1. Robbie Grossman waits on deck. Baseball grounded sharply to shortstop. Owings with the play, and there's the second out of the ninth. Now the Astros are down to an out here at the top of the 9th inning. If they're going to try to sweep this 2-game set in Arizona, they're going to have to do some damage very quickly.
It's 2-out lightning.
No rally caps to be seen. It's in the hands of Robbie Grossman. Alex Presley waits on deck. Robbie takes a strike. Third baseman Prado playing about 30 feet off the line. And the center fielder shifting a bit toward left. 0-2 the count. For Robbie, that batting average at 196 as he's put up an 0 for 2 day. Has drawn a walk that came way back in the 2nd inning. Got him looking. Perfectly placed outside edge at the knees. Robbie Grossman, one of the 2 strikeouts in the 9th inning for right-hander Addison Reed as he saves his 16th on the year. So the Diamondbacks come in this afternoon and lay it to the Astros. They win it 4-1 over Houston. This scores this afternoon.